Hello, how you guys doing out there? Let me know that you're out there. I'm so excited about today's conversation. I'm glad you came over to chat with me. And before I get started, I want to introduce myself. My name is Tajuana Hammonds, and I am here because I had a few things that were really on my mind about entrepreneurship. And the 5 mistakes we make as entrepreneurs. And sometimes we don't even realize that they're mistakes, but I'm here to tell you so that you can avoid the pitfalls that I've experienced my own self. Well, like I said, my name is Tajuana Hammonds. Hi, Jermaine. I'm glad you came to join me. My name is Tajuana Hammonds, and I'm the co-founder of GenesisHair Care. I'm the co-founder of GenesisHair Care, but I'm also a business coach. I help entrepreneurs create tangible and digital products so that they can ultimately be able to make multiple streams of income. So you guys ready to get started? Thank you for the heart. I appreciate it. Give me some more. Let me know you're into what I'm saying, or let me know something. And the more you engage with me, the more I'll engage with you and the more I'll talk. So let's get started about the 5 mistakes we make as entrepreneurs. First of all, as an entrepreneur, especially when you're first starting out, it's all about promoting. And we're always promoting. We're promoting to get clientele because that's what we're supposed to do. We're new in the business, or either we're trying to grow our business. So what we actually do is we just kind of like promote to everyone. But I'm here to tell you that everyone is not your client. I'm going to say that again. Everyone is not your client. You have to be totally clear. And I mean totally clear. Because the clearer you get with understanding what type of client you want as far as your organization or your company, what's the best fit for you and your company, the clearer or the quicker you'll get to your end result. And a lot of times we just kind of take on any and every client. But it is not every client that belongs to you. Sometimes it's just not a perfect fit. So the first thing I want you to understand as an entrepreneur, get very clear on the type of clients you want your organization to serve, whether it's on a project or whether it's a service-based business, okay? Number 2. When you are taking on that client, make sure you're doing consultations with that particular client. Make sure you're doing consultations with that client. And what I need for you guys to understand is we're so excited about that client that oftentimes we don't listen. We don't listen to what that client really has to say. Thank you for coming on and joining me today. If you missed any of what I'm talking about today, it's about the 5 mistakes we make as entrepreneurs. And the first thing that I talked about, rule number 1, make sure you're perfectly honestly clear about the kind of clients you want to attract for your organization or your company, to make sure that it's a perfect fit for you, because not all clients is a perfect fit for you. And sometimes we just take on everyone and anyone because someone may have said that, hey, you know, this person would like a service, and you do that type of service, but it just doesn't mean that that client is a great fit for you. So be clear about the type of clients you want to attract. Rule number 2, when you are in the process of meeting that client, don't be so excited to where you forget to listen to what the client's needs are. Make sure you understand what that client needs. Listen to the client's need, because oftentimes if we don't listen to the client's needs and we take on that project and we complete the whole project, you don't want for it to be in vain. You want to make sure that you're getting exactly what you need from that situation, because as an entrepreneur, that's how you get your finances, and your finances need to increase at all times. Make sure when you're having a consultation with that particular client, that client know the value you're bringing to the table for that particular service. Be clear. Be clear. Because if you're clear, there's no false expectations, and you know your end result as far as getting your payment you're going to get that at the end. Because if you're not on the same page with your client, you will not benefit. Okay? So what I want you guys to understand is make sure you have a clear-cut understanding with your client when your client comes to you for service. Make sure that your client understands the value you're bringing to the table and how much it costs realistically. And sometimes you take on a client for a project, and at the beginning you can't give them the total price of how much it's going to cost. So you may give them an estimate, or you may say, okay, if I do X, Y, and Z, then it's going to be about this amount, but I'm not totally finished. So it's going to be, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. So understand that you are valuable. You are valuable in that particular service. And don't be afraid to charge what you charge, because, hey, Carlos, how you doing? I'm glad you stopped by. Thank you. Welcome to my Facebook Live, and we're talking about the 5 mistakes that you make as an entrepreneur, not really understanding your value. Okay, you've got to know your value when it comes down to pricing. Make sure you're clear with that particular client on that particular project or service, because one thing you don't want to do is take on that particular project and the client is not clear and you're not clear, because at the end you're not going to get what you truly are looking for. Okay? Now, number 3, partnerships. Partnerships are very important when building relationships. That's where your money is at. Your money is in your partnership. But make sure that when you have a partnership with someone and that person is referring your company, make sure that that partner is clear on the service that you provide and the value that you're bringing to the table. Because if that person is clear, then guess what? You are still going to give that client the best service that you could possibly give them, because when they're coming to you, they already know what to expect. So the expectation for you and your service is very high because you already got a referral. Okay? So you don't have to say too much and you don't have to do too much, because your partnership has already did that for you. That person has already given that new prospect the information that they need, so they know that you're valuable. Okay? Now, if you guys want to ask me any type of questions or you want to have a conversation about it, please feel free to do that, because it's so important that we get to the point that we stop making all of those different type of mistakes when we're entrepreneurs. It's one thing when you're a new entrepreneur, but as your business grows, you want to make sure you have certain guidelines that you are following, so that boundaries won't be crossed when you're dealing with that particular client, or you're dealing with someone that wants to hire your company. Okay? Rule number 2, I'm sorry, I'm on rule number 4, right? Let me look at my notes a little bit. Make sure you're not afraid to say no. Now, I know a lot of you probably say, okay, well, in my business, I say no all the time. No. What I'm saying is, as an entrepreneur, we're wearing multiple hats, and we're taking on multiple different projects, and we're working with multiple people. And a lot of times we may feel as though we can squeeze in a project, but even though we're working on another project, we're like, okay, we can handle it. Because a lot of us, especially women entrepreneurs, we're super women. Okay, literally, we are super women, and we can do it all. So we kind of take on a lot of different things, but you don't want to take on those things if you can't handle them all the way to see it fully, all the way out the gate. Or let me come back a little bit. Maybe you can handle it. Maybe you can take it on. Maybe you can accomplish all the goals you set out to do for that particular client. But, okay, and that but I'm coming in is it wasn't a part of your goal, because you were working on something else. So we can get sidetracked, okay? And you don't want to get sidetracked from what you already engaged or working on, that's going to give you that big bang, that big buck. Okay? And sometimes we can get sidetracked on that, and we can stop or put off what we're doing that's going to bring in that revenue that we're looking for, or we need for that goal that we decided to set, and we kind of take on something else, and it's not really valuable to your company. Okay? So make sure that when you're doing projects, that you can say no to things that are not valuable, and make sure that you stick with your plan. Stick and stay, stay true to what you're already doing, okay? And I don't want to seem like I'm fumbling over my words, but it's just very important that when you are taking on a project, sometimes so many different things can come, to you at that particular time, that we just say, oh, okay, well, I can do one more thing. But sometimes if that one more thing is going to distract you or cause you to remove yourself from what you're already doing, that's when you have to step up to the plate, and you really got to say no. You got to start saying no, okay? Because you want to be that business that's growing and thriving, and you want to make sure that your credibility to what you're already doing or your other clients is A1. You want to keep that, okay? So that is rule number 4. But rule number 5, as far as making a mistake, the mistakes that we make as entrepreneurs, is not being focused. Not being focused on one thing. The main thing is you have to be focused. You have to be focused on goals that you make during the month, during the week, during the quarter, whatever goals that you're trying to actually meet and set. You got to stay focused on them. Stay focused on them, because as an entrepreneur, our main focus is to network and meet people, but our main focus is building a reputable brand or building a reputable company so that we can take care of our families, okay? That is our main focus. And if we learn now how to maneuver and make sure that you're not just all over the place, but that you are succeeding in the things that you set out to do, because you've made realistic goals and you've written them down, okay, and you're following through, then you'll get your end result. You'll get what you're looking for at the end. And at the end, that bottom line, you really want to increase. And we have to really truly be mindful as entrepreneurs. Make sure you're doing all the things that you have set out to do as far as in that month. Okay, so the 5 mistakes, I'm going to go back over them and tell you guys the 5 mistakes we make as entrepreneurs is not being focused, taking on more than we can handle, not saying no to projects that are not valuable or worth time, because our time is something you cannot get back. So you have to make sure that each project is going to benefit you and also benefit your client. But you have to let that client know the value that you're bringing to the table. So make sure you guys understand and don't get caught up in the pitfalls, because we can really do that. So not staying focused, not saying no, not being clear with what that client is coming to you about, and making sure that client knows exactly what you can bring to the table and what they need. You have to listen to the client so you can know, hey, this is not a project I can take on, because this client may need a different part of your service. You may offer that service, but at that particular time, you may not be able to take that on because there's too many intricate parts of the puzzle to that particular project. And I'm going to go back to number 1. Number 1, be clear about the type of clients you're trying to attract. Every client is not your client. So make sure you're clear on that. Make sure you're clear about the clients that you want to have and you want to service. Okay? So those are the 5 mistakes as entrepreneurs we make sometimes. But I guarantee you, if you are clear, then you can accomplish everything that you set out to accomplish, and you just won't be going around in circles. So make sure that you avoid this. Make sure that you understand these things, and you can do it. You can go ahead and avoid these 5 mistakes. Well, I'm glad you guys decided to join me. I'm glad, Gigi, you're on the line. You're on my Facebook Live. Sheena, I hope I'm saying that right. And Terry, thank you guys for taking out your time. I really, truly appreciate each one of you guys. Mimi and Pat, I appreciate you guys getting on here. Carlos, I appreciate it from my heart. I appreciate you guys taking the time to stop by here and hear what I have to say, because I'm an entrepreneur. I've been doing this for so long, guys. And it's different things that I've experienced as an entrepreneur that I'm trying to share with you guys to avoid doing. Okay? 5 mistakes, guys. Avoid them. If you're clear, you're going to get a great understanding. But that's it. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye. Have a great day.